I'm a 39-year-old married and the father of 4. Sadly, now only 3 beautiful children. On the night of June 1st, at 1 a.m., I received the call that no parent can imagine in their life. When my son had been in a terrible car wreck and the prognosis was grim. I had screamed so loud that I ruptured my right eardrum. I stuttered incoherently trying to explain to my wife and Mike's mother what was happening. There is no good that can come from this story. My son is gone. My light in this dark world is extinguished, and every day I have to somehow get out of bed. If I didn't have my 3 younger children, I wouldn't be able to accomplish this. When your child is taken from you so quickly, and as a parent you can't help them, it's the worst feeling. It goes against everything in your DNA. You continually fight reality and hold on to whatever you can, because that's all you have left. I remember how selfish at that time I sounded, saying, if he would just survive, I would gladly do anything, every day happily with a smile on my face. Now after experiencing this, I would say the same thing again. Something is better than nothing in simple terms. In all this turmoil, anguish, and heartbreaking pain, God did show me some mercy. He did ultimately answer my prayers. He sent me an angel in my greatest time of need. A small comfort for a fraction of a second took some of my pain away. I give almost anything for that short feeling again. Ryan Bernard is by far one of the most understanding, compassionate, and wonderful human beings I've ever encountered. I'd say he's a knowledgeable professional is an understatement. My wife and I agreed without him there, we wouldn't be able to see this through. The first time we slept was because we knew he was there to care for Mike. I watched him with my own eyes each night spend so much time with Mike that I was afraid he may be neglecting other patients. As Mike was dying, I was also. He reassured me with his actions, not just his words. I watched as he tediously changed Mike's sheets and pillowcases, a total job in itself because every time I saw his blood, it crushed me. He wiped his forehead, cleaned his eyes, nose, and ears, brushed his beard because I didn't want my last memory of my son to be like that. Changed his socks, propped his legs up, all for a patient he knew probably wouldn't matter, but it did matter. More than I can express to a father who raised his little boy, now dying. I didn't have to ask for anything when he worked. Everything was explained in detail, and his face told me how much he loved his job. It takes a very special person to be able to do a job like that, seeing death every day in different ways and forms. It boggles my mind how he so reassuringly, and with a smile I won't ever forget. I don't know what awards you have, but he needs to be recognized, nominated, and honored for the work he did. He literally made a difference in the death of my child. I can honestly not say that about anyone else. People were kind, but this man was on a totally different level. I almost lost faith in this world that good people didn't exist. That someone could change people's lives by the incredible amount of compassion they had. That someone could be so loving and gentle as my son was. Because of Ryan, I can face the day ahead. I sit here crying, writing this letter at 4:15 because I wake up every night at 4:15. It is the only time I feel I can cry without my girl seeing me. So I go to his room, lock the door, and weep. But I'm going to keep trying, just keep going, because I know that people like my son and Ryan still exist. I never imagined that in my darkest hour, anyone or anything could possibly help us. Ryan's impact on our lives is something that I can't forget, even if I wanted to. I hope he gets to read this and understands how important those little things mean to a grieving parent. It's literally everything to us. You're damn lucky to have someone like him as a husband. I could never ever repay him for his actions those few days. All I can do is thank him from the bottom of our broken hearts. Did you know at the time that you were having that kind of impact on that family? Because clearly that's a memorable, I know we talked a lot, you said you obviously remembered all of that, but at the moment all of that was happening, were you aware of just you know, what a profound impact you were having on that family?
Not really, honestly. I just talked to him like I talk to anybody. He reminded me a lot of like my dad. He was a sports dad. He did everything with his kid. And it like connected with him on that level, and just kind of tried to talk to him as much as I could. Just like I would anybody, I guess.
Yeah. So was there anything memorable that stood out to you that during your care of Michael?
Honestly, just being able to talk to him. Luckily, I was open in my other bed until the morning, just because he was pretty critical.
Yeah.
On umpteen drips, but just being able to like actually take the time and just stay in his room and maintenance my drips and be kind of all over the place and talk to him.
And family was there with him.
Yeah, the mom and dad was there.
Yeah. Do you know what you were thinking, or what was going through your head when you were caring for him and his parents, clearly?
Just to try to give him some sort of comfort or whatever it could be given to him. But most of it was just kind of like, as far as maintenance and everything, you try to go the extra mile with every patient as much as you can, and it's just kind of like autopilot. Honestly, Barb precepted me, and she it's the Barb routine, and it's been implemented into my mind, and it's just kind of what you try to do for everybody. But I had no idea he was paying that much attention.
I think that's in some ways, I think for me, the sort of the overwhelming message is that in those moments when you don't even know what you're doing in terms of impact for people, just unbelievable, what you meant to that family in that moment. So I know you worked here before you worked as a nurse here in the ICU, so tell us what was your role here before you were on our nursing team?
I actually was almost 7 years down in inpatient pharmacy, so I got tons and tons of exposure up here, and I made all the drips for downstairs and would float around at night and try to just make connections with everybody. And I lucked out, and everybody here begged me to go on to nursing school because I was thinking about it. My whole family's nurses, so they told me to come work here afterwards. So
and you did?
I did.
And how long have you been here?
A little over a year.
So 1 year?
It was August.
Which is, again, amazing. Usually one of the things I ask people is like, what advice would you give to a new to practice nurse? But you are a new to practice nurse. I guess what I would say to you maybe is, clearly you are extraordinary in the year that you have been a practicing nurse and, have achieved so many things. What advice would you give to all of us in terms of how to be able to do sort of every day in our ordinary work what you were able to do for that patient?
I just try to talk to everybody like they're human, honestly. You don't want to list off all these medical terms, and you try to simplify things, and you want to treat the family as well as the patient. It's not just the patient all the time.
Well, you drove that point home in a way that I think is just so profound. I would agree with that, Dad, that we are damn lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving's next week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for being here every day and being you and doing what you're doing for our patients, because clearly it's just amazing, and so are you.
Thank you.
So thank you, Michael.
I actually been here a long time, and I had stopped precepting for a little bit. And when Ryan came to us, I was like, he asked me, and I said, absolutely.
He's your guy.
Absolutely. I was like, I'm coming out of retirement for this. I will definitely precept you. And it was really unbelievable, the way he cares for everyone, and just his person, the way he is. And I always told him, I said, no matter what you do, everybody's watching. You know what I mean? I see how you present yourself and how you care for your patients. It's unbelievable, the compassion. And that part of his soul is what really, really impacted me. But just doing the care and catching on, and definitely good with pharmacy too. That's a perk.
Definitely gave a leg up.
That's a perk. But no, this was amazing to me. I mean, I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. He does great care, and he's helpful. He's a team player. He's like an all-around good guy.
Yeah.
We got lucky with him. We really did.
We got damn lucky, according
Yes, we
to,
did.
to this
Damn
dad.
lucky.
I think that's
Yeah.
true.
And I'm so glad that you shared that with me, because I was like, I cannot hold back on this. I cannot. This is just too. I did too. I sobbed and sobbed.
You can't not.
It's amazing. It's amazing what you do for this family. And I always told them, I said, no, you might not always be able to save the patient, but the family is they have to leave here with belongings and nobody.
Yep.
And you changed that. You made a difference.
Clearly. How about, can you tell us a little bit about Barb? What it was like to be precepted?
Oh, Barb.
Oh,
Your chance, Ryan. Go.
No,
I'm tough. I am a little tough, but that's okay.
honestly, that's what I wanted. I want to know, like, her way of thinking, organizing. I see the way that she talks to families, and I try to be the same way. We've
Why
had
did you
patients
choose
come
her?
back.
Why did you choose her? You said, she said you requested her
I
as
have
her
known
preceptor.
Barb for years, and honestly, like, all of these guys, I was lucky enough to be around them on night shift for 6-7 years, and just got to know everybody, and just the way that the same way, like, Barb presents herself, the way she practices,
Thank you.
it's just what I wanted to be.
We clearly are. You know, I mean, you're both rock stars, right? I mean, it's amazing. Thank you both so much for everything, all the time. You know, especially, like I said, in this season where I think, you know, it's particularly this year sometimes hard to think about what we maybe are grateful for, but, you know, in seeing what you guys see every day and
Yeah.
in the work you do, I think sometimes there's so much to be grateful for. And I will tell you what, this year, one of the things I'm most grateful for is obviously both of you, as well as everybody else. So thank you.